Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Archie's Briefings. I'm your host, Arshel Branch, and today, you guys, we are going to talk about the ghetto super mayor that is Tiffany Henyard of Dalton, Illinois. Now, people, brawls, investigations, baby daddies, and of course, the ghetto black woman. I mean, all of this wrapped into one with this one woman. It's problem, and it goes into the whole thing. I mean, you guys know me, I have this obsession with the ratchet right now. I have this major obsession with why we should not be voting for the ratchet. Where you vote ratchet, do not expect good things to follow. I have the same issue with Jasmine Crockett. I'm telling you, there's just something about the ratchet. There's something about the ghetto. You should just expect problems to come with it. And so that's what we're going to talk about today, Tiffany Henyard, because people, there's a lot here that I don't think we really focused on. I think we kind of get caught up in the bigger, more extravagant stories, like the brawl that actually took place between the guy she was sleeping with and the citizens and the residents of Dalton, right? This is just something that has to be discussed. And I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to break down a couple of that information for you guys, because the more and more I learned about this woman, the more disgusted I became and the more convinced I became about why people should just not vote for the ratchet, okay? If you're black, don't vote ratchet. If you're white, don't be guilted into voting ratchet, okay? Just don't do it. So before we go ahead and talk about that, you guys, if you're new to the channel, go ahead and take the time to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so that you never miss an episode. You guys can follow me on Instagram and TikTok under Archie Financial. So without further ado, you guys, let's go ahead. Let's talk about this ghetto mayor, Tiffany Henyard, because oh my goodness, people, when you find out. Let's go ahead and let's talk about that, shall we?
There is something that has been on my heart that I did want to discuss. Discipline is a huge part of being productive, being lucrative. I am not for anything that goes against true productivity, true sovereignty of the individual. The choices that we make are what's going to be up for judgment.
All right, you guys. So, as I said in the open, we are going to talk about Tiffany Henyard, the Dalton mayor of Illinois, Dalton, Illinois. And, again, I have a thing about the ratchet. I have an obsession with the ratchet because I just think they're just so problematic. They're just so problematic that they just kind of need to be examined, evaluated. I mean, it's like being at the watching National Geographic, right? Just watching the animal in their natural habitat. And that's the feeling that I have when I watch women like Jasmine Crockett and when I watch women like Tiffany Henyard. It's, I'm watching a beast in their own habitat. They feel comfortable, they feel safe enough to be this outrageous. And, it's just something that kind of piques my interest. But now this is more than just, the tone of the voice when it comes to Tiffany Henyard, right? With Jasmine Crockett, it's her tone, it's her liberalism, or just leftism, I should say more accurately. But with Tiffany Henyard, this goes beyond just a curiosity about the ratchet behavior. This goes further than that. This goes into just corruption, okay? Just pure corruption, no matter how many times you try to evaluate this. I don't care that she goes on Roland Martin and they're trying to defend her because she's a black woman. No, this woman is problematic in so many ways. And I think it's about time that we started to unpack that. Of course, we know Lori Lightfoot could never be elected dog catcher. Yet she was chosen by the people of Dalton to do an investigation into Tiffany Henyard and the spending, her misconduct of her spending. They wanted to know the information because Tiffany was holding back the numbers. So let's go ahead and let's just show just a couple of clips about Lori Lightfoot and what she discovered by doing just her own investigation, which I might add, Tiffany Henyard tried to stop. Okay. She tried to stop and failed at stopping Lori Lightfoot. So let's go ahead and let's run those clips, shall we? Okay, guys. So right here, this is the clip with Lori Lightfoot being interviewed by, I believe it's NBC, and they're asking her questions about her investigation. And, it's a pretty long interview. I'm not going to cover the whole thing, but just like the first few bits of it, I thought were quite fascinating. So let's go ahead and let's run it, shall we?
You uncovered in your 9-month investigation?
I think it was the level of systematic, intentional effort to shield from the village trustees and the public what the true financial state of the village was. I mean, we see in Mayor Henyard and her key people in her administration just this reckless disregard for governmental norms, spending on whatever she wanted without seeking any kind of budgetary approval, without looking to see whether or not the spending aligned with the budget, just doing whatever she wanted as if she was all powerful and had no accountability to anyone.
You mentioned Thornton Township and similar issues happening there. How concerned should residents in those 17 communities be about this?
I think they should be very concerned. Look, we only saw a little tip of the iceberg of what was happening in Thornton Township, but all the things that we saw suggested that the same kind of disregard for any kind of fiscal fiduciary responsibility, spending in excess was happening in Thornton Township, but at an elevated level because it's a bigger budget. What we also saw was, lots of people having credit cards in their own name and spending it on a range of things that if I were in Thornton Township government, I'd want to know, were these legitimate government purposes or not?
Okay, guys, so you saw that, right? Now, Lori Lightfoot, again, she was chosen by the people of Dalton, the township of Dalton. She was hired by them to do an investigation. The investigation lasted for about 9 months. And to Lori's credit, she did find a lot. It was quite clear to Tiffany Henyard that Lori Lightfoot was going to make it clear that she was going to get to the bottom of things. The people of Dalton wanted answers. And when they got their answers, they could not believe what they had seen with their own eyes. That Tiffany Henyard was so ridiculous with the spending, that she had no accountability. She did not stick to the governmental norms, that she did not do what the people had asked her to. She had not kept the word that she had given the people when they voted for her. She did not keep the word of the people that helped her get elected to begin with. And that when Lori Lightfoot's numbers came out, when her report came out, they were flabbergasted.
And they're going crazy. They're going crazy.
There are a lot of things happening with this woman. She is in court because of the abuse of power. She's being sued by business owners. She's under investigation by the FBI. Lori Lightfoot has just completed her investigation just about the spending. The American people would like to know, is there going to be any justice? Like, there are people across the country who are really interested in seeing this woman go down. I think part of the reason why is because we're a little sick and tired of people like Clintons. We're tired of it. We're tired of seeing corrupted individuals just getting away with what they get away with. And I don't care that she's black. I don't care if you're black, white. I don't care. Man, woman, if you do something like this, you should go down. Okay. We need to start seeing justice and accountability here. And I do think that because we have Orange Man in the White House and he's gotten his Attorney General, Pam Bondi, you might actually see something and Dalton might actually get the justice that they're looking for. And again, if y'all the same people who voted for Kamala Harris, well, I got one thing to say to you.
You're welcome.
And so I think it's about time that we actually started to just, expose these people for what they really are, for who they really are. This woman is trash. I'm going to show you guys that clip of the fight, the brawl that took place, because I had a few questions that needed to be answered. Some were, some still aren't, but I have my speculations. It is about the fight that took place with her boyfriend. Let's go ahead and let's do that, shall we? Okay, guys. So I'm a little stuck on the NBC news because I feel like NBC local news, Chicago news, Illinois news, I think they did a very good job covering all of this. I think they are covering every bit. I got a lot of information from watching them just from the local news. I think they're doing a very good job. Just shout out. Let's go ahead and let's run just a few bits of this little clip here. Let's go ahead and let's run it, shall we?
This was a heated meeting from the beginning with
her.
Tiffany Henyard's boyfriend put on administrative leave. But when someone in the audience called her a name, that's when things got out of control.
You gone.
This happened right after a community activist called Tiffany Henyard an expletive.
Okay.
A fight erupting in the back of the room. Fists.
Okay. So before I let it go on any further, okay. So y'all saw she stood up, right? She stood up because this is where my questions come in. She stood up. The cameras quickly go to the fight. And let me go ahead and let me run it because follow my thought, okay?
Kicks. People jumping on top of tables, monitors smashed, with Henyard and her boyfriend in the middle of the melee.
Everything, it was scary.
Okay, I gotta rewind.
Monitors smashed, with Henyard and her boyfriend in the middle of.
Yep, okay, right there. Now, y'all see Henyard. Okay, I can't really see the pointing. Okay, but y'all saw that they highlighted Tiffany Henyard in the middle of the brawl. Okay, so this was a few things. Okay, before I even saw the video footage of her actually being in the brawl, there were reports that were coming out about the fight that had said that a man had stood up and went up against a guy who had spoken on the mic and said, "You gone, B word." And then that gentleman stood up. I don't know. I didn't know enough about Tiffany Henyard to know that this was her boyfriend. I said, who wants to bet? I said this to my twin sister. You guys should definitely check her out. She's Brazen Insights. But I said to my twin sister, who wants to bet that the man that started the fight is the man that she's sleeping with? And then the reports come out, it was her boyfriend. I'm like, aha, I called it. Then the same reporter said that Tiffany Henyard had lost a shoe, one shoe. And I said, The only reason why she lost a shoe was because she was in the fight. Any black person, okay? I don't care if you're half black or you're all the way black. I don't care. You could be a white person too. I don't know. Maybe this is true for white folk. Y'all get in the comments and let me know if this is true for you too. But if a woman is in a fight and if a woman loses a shoe, if there's a shoe gone, one shoe gone, it's because she was in that fight. I had people tell me, oh no, she was probably running away. No, she wasn't, okay? Because when you're a woman who's running away, okay, both shoes come off and you run with both shoes in your hand, or you kick them off and you run with no shoes in your hand. She lost a shoe. That's what the reporter said. And then I said, it's because she was in the fight. Then I see the video footage. The broad was in the fight. I called it. So it was the man she was sleeping with, okay? The man she was sleeping with, and she was in the fight because it's the only way she lost a shoe. Man, I don't know if y'all know this about women, okay? But if a woman loses a shoe, it's because she was in a fight. Her hair is all disheveled. Her shoes are, a shoe is missing. She was in the fight, okay? She went to go defend her man because he was trying to defend her honor. And this is straight ghetto, people. She's a ghetto woman, okay? She darted to be in the fight to protect her man, because she a ride or die B word, okay? She a ride or die, so she got to go and protect her man. This is my question. Did she come over the table or did she go around the table to get to the fight? Let me tell you why I think this broad went over the table. It is just ghetto enough that she went over the table to shoot up the middle so fast, okay, that she was able to be in that fight. I think she went over the table, and no one's got footage. If y'all got any footage of her coming over or around that table to get to that fight, please let me know, because I'm kind of obsessed with solving that question, okay? I think with the amount of time that it took for her to get from the table to the brawl, it was too fast for her to have gone around that table, okay? She had to go over or under, and women ain't going under tables, especially when hair is done, clothes a fly. She's not doing it. She's not going underneath no table. She's going over or around. And considering where she came up to be in the fight, she went up the middle. The only way to get up that middle that fast, she had to go over the table. I could be wrong. Y'all get in the comments and let me know if you agree with that. But again, this is just to show you that all of the stuff around her has been falling apart. I'm going to come out of this because I think I've made it clear my suspicion. I think she came over the table, that this is where I think she's starting to get frustrated. But that's enough of this right here. But ultimately, you guys, again, this is why you shouldn't vote for Ratchet, okay? You shouldn't vote for Ghetto. That's why you don't vote for Ghetto. There's unbelievable amount of corruption here. It's not so much that because she's stupid. Just because you're ghetto, just because the person is ratchet, does not mean that they are dumb. This woman with her charity reminds me of the Clinton Foundation, okay? And you don't got to be white to be that corrupt, okay? You don't got to be that white to be that corrupt. And the people have had it. They've had it up to here with her. This woman is ghetto. She's ghetto and corrupt. And I don't care who doesn't like the fact that I'm calling her ghetto. Oh, no, you shouldn't call it. No, she is a crazy ghetto, abusive woman, okay? That is who she is. And I don't care who is offended by it.
Oh, that's cold.
Let's just sum this all up with what the citizens of Dalton are saying and what they are requesting, not just by the justice system, but also what they are requesting from their governor as well. Let's go ahead and let's run that, shall we?
The governor can't keep kicking the can down the road. He said that he was going to support Lori Lightfoot's investigation. Her investigation alleged malfeasance. While they're posturing on national issues against Trump, are they going to do anything about local issues that's under their rule?
That's the governor of Illinois right now. You're going after Trump. You're pissing on Trump. We're going to stop Trump. We're going to fight Trump. Oh, he's not going to come for the illegals. We're going to stop Trump. That's his focus. When your citizens, your people are demanding action against one of the most corrupted mayors in your state, okay? Lori Lightfoot was a problem as mayor, but that don't even compare, at least to my opinion, to my knowledge, don't even compare to Tiffany Henyard. And the governor is so busy focused on going after President Trump, and obviously Democrat, right? So busy trying to go after the Republicans, want to stop MAGA, want to stop America first. You are not prioritizing your people. Let me show you something else. This will be the last clip I'm going to show you guys for today of what the citizens think the reasons are for why the governor is not going after Tiffany Henyard. Let's go ahead and let me run that last clip for you guys. Okay, guys. So this was from the documentary that NBC, the local NBC town, had done. It's called Super Mayor: The Cost of Chaos in Dalton. I think everybody who's watching this episode should go and watch it because I think this was phenomenal. I learned a lot. This is where I got some of the information from about some of the key players that were the reasons for why Tiffany Henyard, that is, was able to win in the first place. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna let this run so you can see what the citizens think about why the governor isn't doing anything. And then I'll sum up everything that we talked about today. Let's go ahead and let's run it, shall we?
People are saying that the higher ups won't come for her because she's a single woman and a Black woman. She's always playing that female card, a single female. There are plenty of single females, but and Black single females. This is about wrong.
And y'all sitting up here beating and attacking on a Black woman that's in power.
Ghetto.
Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves.
Because you're Black now, you can't be held accountable for other Black people. Majority of Dalton is Black.
But the fact of the matter remains, we have bad people among us. We have good people among us.
That's the perfect place. That's the perfect place to leave that right there. You can't go after her because she's a Black woman. What? They constantly use this as a scapegoat. The reason why they feel that the governor of Illinois will not go after her is because he's a white man. If he goes after Tiffany Henyard, he is going after the very first Black female mayor of Dalton, and that is not going to be a good look. It's not good optics. He's all about DEI. He's a Democrat, leftist. I'm assuming that's what that is. He's going after President Trump and America First. These are his political beliefs. I cannot go after her. He said he would support Lori Lightfoot. You heard the activist say that. Lori Lightfoot's report been come out, dude. Okay, that was grammatically incorrect, but this is what happens when you engage with the ratchet, right? They mess with your speech. Tiffany Henyard is entirely corrupt. She's ghetto and corrupt. And she hides behind the fact that she's a Black woman so that way nobody can criticize her. Mind you, the majority of the town are Black people. And conservatives have been arguing this I don't know how long, okay? Throughout most of the Trump time, okay? From when Trump was first elected through the Biden era back to Trump being reelected, we're still calling Black conservatives racist and sexist and all these things. And now here you have a group of Black people who are most likely Democrat, most likely voted for Kamala Harris as well, okay, who vote Black most of the time, who love their people more than they should, even what the gentleman said, right, are voting for people because they believe that they have your best interest at heart because they too are Black. But if we can't hold people accountable because they're Black, then stop voting for them, okay? I don't like that rationale. I don't like it at all. If the only reason why you're voting for people because they're Black, but then you believe we shouldn't hold Black people accountable because of that fact, don't vote for them, okay? Don't vote for people who are obviously ghetto. Where there's ghettoism, there's going to be criminality, and no one should be surprised at that. I don't think people should. You guys get in the comments. Let me know what you think about all of this. What do you think about Tiffany Henyard? What do you think about all this information? If you got any more about Tiffany Henyard, like if she came over the table, people, please get in the comment sections and tell me where I could find the clip. I'm trying to find that information. I want to know, did she go over the table? I feel like she did. Definitely let me know. Get in the comments. Let's continue having this conversation about Tiffany Henyard because I think we, as fellow Americans, let's help out our fellow American citizens in Dalton. Let's do it. Let's keep talking about it. Bring awareness to the big channels, small channels. Let's try to get a lot of conversation so it does make it up to the Orange Man and hopefully the Attorney General of the United States. Hopefully. Let's see what happens. Thank you all for watching. God bless and Kepler.